Colonel, I'm making a Veda. Snake, what the hell is a Veda? Metal Gear. I know yesterday we went behind the scenes to talk about what my streaming space looks like and what my normal recording space is, and kind of the cool things that decorate it. I thought today what we would do is dig into some of the equipment that's used, both for producing these Vedas and also for producing the stream itself. I was also thinking if you're interested in streaming or doing Vedas like this, I could also tell you about some of the equipment that I had and what my current gear replaces. Will that be useful to you? I don't know, but you can kind of get a sense of where things started and where it's going now. You definitely don't need all of this stuff to do a stream, but it's the current evolution of my streaming equipment. This is an Audio-Technica AT4053B. It is a hypercardioid microphone. You want to be near your microphone. Mics don't grab sound. There's this idea called a shotgun mic, which looks that way kind of because it's shaped like a shotgun barrel, and they tend to be more directional. They're not great for small spaces, so I picked this up because it seemed like it would be a good balance between a shotgun mic and a regular dynamic mic. This is the mixer. It's also the audio interface, and pretty much I use it as an audio interface for my streams. This is the Behringer Xenix 1222 USB. I honestly don't remember why I picked this mixer. I think it was because I had a different audio interface and it seemed like everything coming into it was quiet, and I'd heard that this had pretty good amps, so it would, preamps rather, so it would increase the volume of things going into the machine. It also had a lot of inputs, which at the time seemed very important, but I basically just use the one. For video on stream, I use the Sony ZV-1 as well as a Camlink. Camlink is a little HDMI to USB converter. Previously, I was using the Logitech C920. It's a pretty reliable webcam. It lets you do 720p at 60 frames a second, but I wanted something higher resolution, and also it is really terrible at focusing and sometimes does weird things with like lighting and color and whatnot. For these vlogs, there's probably a bunch of equipment that you saw off screen, but also a bunch that I can talk a little bit more about. I'm recording right now with a Canon 90D. I also have a Canon 80D. It's pretty much the same thing, but the 90D has a couple extra features. This is also the camera that I use when I am at conventions and want to do con photography or recording or anything like that. Right now it's using a 24mm prime lens, which is great because I'm recording in small spaces and I don't have a lot of room to keep things out of sight lines. I'm also recording with the Zoom H4n Pro. It is an audio interface, but also a recording device, and I mostly use it as a backup. In particular, I use it because it has XLR inputs, which means I can use this Shure SM93 lav mic, which is actually a pain in the ass for a bunch of the things that I want to do for Veda. Cameras don't have these hookups. These are for like more of a professional setup. And there's also a bunch of lighting equipment like a ring light and these LED other lights, but there's nothing particularly special about those. Maybe it's too much stuff. I don't know, but I still find it really interesting to learn about it all and to work with it. And hopefully you got something out of it. It's also surprisingly come in handy at least once when helping other folks with streams unexpectedly. For tomorrow's Veda, let's say it's gonna be a blast from the past. All right, what do we got? Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Metal Gear. Well, this is probably fine. This is all going to be voiceovered, so I can stare at my phone, which is useful because then I can sound more rehearsed and practiced, even though I'm just reading the text that I wrote to myself, and I am definitely recording. Okay, perfect.